first two are very much similar. The blind persons, and these two people believe I can eliminate blind persons. I have Buddha nature here. So on the basis of pure Buddha nature, I can eliminate the blind person and realize it's Buddha, purity in me. And so it requires several lives, or a long time. It's called lengthwise departure in the gradual. They require many lives. But here, in this one life, we can become Buddha. See? So this lengthwise. Then the third and fourth are crosswise. Crosswise means the pure land path, or the teaching that talks about other power, say Amida Buddha. So the here power from the side, this power comes from this opposite direction. So these three first three approaches, they have this self-power. This is a self-power. Self-power usually people think self-power means kind of practice or effort making. Or self-power means effort making. But I don't think effort making and self-power are same meaning. I think self-power means the power of human wisdom. Human wisdom. And earlier I talked about this. It's very important to know there are two types of wisdom. Two types of wisdom. Human wisdom and Buddha's wisdom. Human wisdom and Buddha's wisdom. So the Buddhism is a teaching that talks about the liberation of human beings through Buddha's wisdom. I say the most important concept in Buddhism is wisdom. Buddhism is a teaching of wisdom, about wisdom. And it is wisdom that liberates us. It's not the human wisdom that liberates us. It's the Buddha's wisdom that liberates us. So the self-power actually means human wisdom. Self-power, power of human wisdom. And the other power means power of Buddha's wisdom. So the self-power and the other power are opposite. And human wisdom and Buddha's wisdom are opposite. That's what I want you to know. So here I spelled out this, human wisdom. See, this is self-power. Human wisdom. Then what is human wisdom? This is a wisdom we usually use. It is called dualistic wisdom. See? Then what is dualistic wisdom? Dual means two. Wisdom of two-ness. This is a wisdom that divides things into two. Don't you think our wisdom is based upon this two-ness? Whenever we use our human wisdom, is it good or bad? Is it right and wrong? Is it pure, impure? Is it happy or suffering? See? Everything we divide things into two. See? And this is a wisdom we've been using since we were kids. This is a wisdom that our parents, school teachers taught us. You must have good discretion. See, you must differentiate good and evil, right and wrong, pure and impure. See, and that's what we've been talking about. Common sense wisdom, common sense way of thinking. That's called human wisdom, and we don't doubt it. This is the only wisdom we have. So whatever we think, we use this wisdom. But in Buddhism, it is called self-power. There's another wisdom, Buddha's wisdom. That's other power. Other power. This is a wisdom on the basis of wisdom, good and evil, good and evil, pure and impure, right and wrong. See? this the Buddhahood is one, happiness, security, you see, this crosses and circle, negative and positive, see? And so we hate the human wisdom, hate minuses, crosses, hate this, and love this, want to increase this, see? Using this, practice means this, enhancing this and eliminating this. Without human wisdom, practice cannot be this. Practice means increasing this and eliminating. This is called practice. Okay? So the human, as soon as we use human wisdom, we hate this present reality. Oh, I'm not happy with my present self. My present self, future self. Buddha self is a true self. I want to realize. So this is the practice. Okay? Human wisdom, as soon as we use human wisdom, oh, this world is impure. Okay? Oh, and we should go to pure place, ideal place. See? As soon as we use human wisdom, we hate minuses, we love classes, purity, hate impurity, love. See? But this is the nature of human thinking. Okay? Dualistic. Haven't to be using this all the time? This is the only wisdom we use. Okay? And on the basis of it, we have to improve ourselves. Okay? We must go to the pure world, pure land, pure place. Okay? We must go there. Okay? These three approaches are based upon human wisdom. But there's another thing called Buddha's wisdom. This is Buddha's wisdom. This is the Buddha's wisdom. Buddha's wisdom is called the other power. Other power. Okay? Opposite. The Buddha's wisdom is the wisdom of oneness. This is the non-dualistic. Okay? This opposite. This is the dualistic. Okay? Non-dualistic wisdom means appreciate both pluses and minuses. Finding meaning not only pluses, but also in minuses. This is Buddha's wisdom. Do you have this wisdom? You may think about it, but it's very difficult to have it. See? But this is the only wisdom we use. But Buddhism says, unless you really appreciate this wisdom, see, you cannot full appreciation of life. Because life consists of pluses and minuses. See? And we think, no, using human wisdom, we think life, health, youth are good. But death, sickness, aging are not good. See? But human wisdom appreciates only pluses. Happiness is okay, but suffering is not good. Purity is okay, but impurity is not good. Blind passions are terrible, see? Negative, which we eliminate. Human wisdom thinks that way. See? Yeah. We hate these minuses, not pluses. See? That's how we use our human common sense way of thinking and think about Buddhism. Then we have three types of Buddhism. Kashinga Shonin says, these are not the authentic Buddhism. Provisional, they are Buddhism, okay, Buddhism, but it is temporal, provisional Buddhism. Provisional means preparatory stage. It's not the ultimate Buddhism. The ultimate Buddhism is a Buddhism in which we can appreciate everything that exists in this world. Not only minuses, pluses, but also minuses. Okay? Until we have this wisdom, we cannot have fulfillment of human lives. See? That's what Shinra Shonin teaches us. Okay? Now, we are getting into this fourth type of Buddhism. Okay? And this is called wisdom, inconceivable wisdom. Okay? Everything is inconceivable. So inconceivable. Okay? Inconceivable means you cannot understand this Buddhism using human conceivability. The human wisdom, this is conceivable. See, it's so easy to understand, agree with our common sense. See, eliminate these minuses, impurity, then realize purity. It's so easy to understand, agree with our common sense. See? And Singashuri went through this. See? Thinking about this is so easy, but actualizing is so difficult. Can you eliminate your blind passions? Is it easy to eliminate your? See, is it easy to kind of change this negative thing into classes? It's easier said than done. See, that's what Shinran discovered. So the fourth stage is very difficult to attain. But Shinran experienced this transition, see, and she was so happy. And so anyway, now let me get into the fourth type of Buddhism. And I want you to look at the page 2 of the material. Okay? Okay, first let me tell you how Shinran Shonin made the transition from the third to fourth. Okay, I said that that Shinran Shonin met Honen Shonin at the age of 29, and he initially followed the third type of teaching, but after having spent some time studying under Honen Shonin, Shinran Shonin started to doubt the third type of teaching. Okay? And as I said, this is the Pure Land tradition, Pure Land teaching based on Contemplation Sutra. Contemplation Sutra. And I said that in this tradition, okay, Amida Buddha is taught as a savior, okay? And the Pure Land is taught as a place you go after place, actual place you go after death. So the Shinran Shonin have doubt about it. Okay? Certainly, Shinran knew that Shakyamuni never talked about the savior. Okay? The most unique aspect of Buddhism or Shakyamuni's teaching is that Shakyamuni said, oh, no God is necessary. Okay? There's no savior in Buddhism. That's the basis of Buddhist teaching. Okay? He denied all the existence of these deities, gods, or things like that. So the Shinran knew it. See? So the Shinran thought something wrong with this teaching. Amida is a person, personal savior. He exists in the western corner, and he comes to save us. There is something wrong. He had doubt about it. And Buddha and Shakyamuni never talked about this world after death or something like that. See? Heaven after death. And so Shinran also thought about this, talking about the world after this Pure Land after death. Something wrong with it. See? So he had doubt about this Amida Buddha and as a savior, the Pure Land as a place, actual place you go. See? And Shinran Shonin also had doubt about the Nembutsu. See? And my teachers tell us, say if I say Namandabutsu, like, see, this is the teaching, see, this he met Honen Shonin, you see, and Honen Shonin was saying Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu, Namamidabutsu, Namamidabutsu. See, this is the Honen Shonin saying, no, he was saying this Namandabutsu, Namandabutsu. And Shinran Shonin listened to this, and Honen Shonin, if you say Namandabutsu, through this practice, after death you go to Pure Land. See? So many followers of Honen Shonin, Honen Shonin tells us, saying Namandabutsu prepared us for this birth in Pure Land after death. So let's have this Nembutsu practice. See? This is a Shotoshu teaching. But Shinra-shonin said that hundreds or thousands times a day, every day, okay? The Jewish tradition. More saying the better. See? See? Thousands of times a day. Shinra-shonin had doubt about this, but why does it have to be Namandabutsu? Why is it so important? Why is it so powerful? Nambutsu is so important and powerful. He had the question, what is the power? Is this the power of the sound? Is the sound important? If the sound of Namandabutsu, sound is important, why does it have to be Namandabutsu? Doesn't have to be Namandabutsu. See, Nam-myoho-renge-kyo should be okay. Nam-myoho-renge, Nam-myoho should be equally okay if sound, Why does it have to be Namandabutsu? See? So it's not the sound, okay? Then it's the action. See? Action, physical action, verbalizing, see? Chanting. It's the action of chanting important. See? Action. Then here again, why does it have to be Namandabutsu? Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, physically saying 1,000 times, say Nam-myoho-renge-kyo 1,000 times chanting, or 1,000 times chanting of Nembutsu. What's the difference? Same thing, action-wise, physical action, same thing. Why does it have to be Namandabutsu? See? So Shinra-shonin didn't understand why does it have to be specifically Namu Ami Dabutsu. See? So Shinra-shonin doubt about Amida Buddha, about Nembutsu, about birth in Pure Land after death. See? Shakyamuni never talked about world after death, or even Shakyamuni refused to talk about the world after death. Okay? Uniqueness of Shakyamuni's teaching or Buddhism that people totally didn't say anything about the world after death. It is stupid to talk about or think about world after death. This is the basic stance of Buddhism, okay? Buddhism was different from other religions in not talking about world after death. They 100% focus on how we should live, understanding how we should live this life here now. That was the only issue Buddhist or Shakyamuni dealt with. Okay? Other religions, Hinduism and non-Buddhist teachings talked about soul and the gods and the world after death. The Buddhism was different from that. Okay? That is the most important basis of Buddhism. Not dealing with the issues, the after death things. Okay? See? So the Shinra-shonin knew it, and so he also again doubted why. See that this teaching, this Jodoshi teaching, talk about life after death. See, something Shakyamuni never talked. So Shinra had all kinds of doubts, started to have doubts about this, the Jodoshi teachings. See, so many people are happy with this teaching and they didn't have doubt. Okay, but Shinra had such a deep doubt about this. That's why he started to read other sutras very carefully. Okay, so the Shinra-shonin knew that this tradition was based upon contemplation sutra. So the Shinra-shonin started to read another text called the Rajya Sutra. Okay? Rajya Sutra. And we don't know exactly when, but when after having spent 2 or 3 years under Hoden Shonin, Shinran discovered this text. Okay? Rajya Sutra. This is the text that explains the meaning of Nembutsu Amida Buddha very clearly. And he understood, after reading Rajya Sutra, Shinran realized these concepts, Pure concepts explained in the Rajya Sutra, are totally different from those explained in Contemplation Sutra. Then when he recognized it, he moved this, he made this transition. Okay? So discovery of Rajya Sutra was very important, and So since he discovered the importance of Rajya Sutra, Shinran Shonin, that's the time he changed his name. His teacher, Honen, gave a name to Shinran. And the name was not Shinran, Shaku. See, Shaku was the name Honen Shonin gave Shinran when Shinran was 29. When Shinran became disciple of Honen Shonin, Shaku was given. Teacher Honen gave such a nice name, Shaku, to Shinran. But 2 or 3 years later, Shinran changed his name. He created his own name. Shinran is a name. Shinran created himself. But it was 2 or 3 years after teacher gave the name. It's incredible. Teacher gave the name Shaku to Shinran, and Shinran wanted to change name, and he changed it with Honen's permission. And why did Shinran change his name? Because he discovered the Rajya Sutra. Rajya Sutra. And his name Shinran comes from the name of the second and the third patriarchs. Second patriarch's name is Tenshin. Or we call it Tenjin, but Tenshin. And this is the second patriarch. Third patriarch name is Donran. Donran. See? So Shinran. This is he created his own name. Shinran. Why did he chose these 2 names as the basis of his name, Shinran? Because these 2 teachers wrote commentary on the Rajya Sutra. There are 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, these 7 patriarchs. These teachers wrote commentaries on Contemplation Sutras. Contemplation Sutra. And Shaku, this is Shaku, Doshaku, this teacher's name is Doshaku. And this is Zendo. This is Genshin. And 7th, this is the Honen Shonin. The Honen Shonin's official name is Genku. See? Honen Shonin, Genku, gave this character to Shinran. Shaku is a name. Shaku, Shakku, Shakku. Shaku. 2 characters. Honen Shonin gave this name when Shinran was 29. When Shinran became disciple. This is a name. This name, Shaku. Shaku comes from his ku. Honen's own name, ku. Shaku comes from his 4th patriarch. Shaku. So these 2 characters come from these 4 teachers, as 4th and 7th patriarch. All these teachers' main text was Contemplation Sutra. See? So that's a very nice name, again, teacher Honen gave Shinran. Shaku. Shaku. But see, so after that, 2 or 3 years after that, Shinran discovered the Rajya Sutra. So Shinran had this decision, make a resolution. I will commit my entire life to the study of the Rajya Sutra. I want to show that the teaching of the Rajya Sutra is a true Buddhism. So, Shinran wanted to his name from these 2 teachers. These 2 teachers' main texts were Rajya Sutra. See? That's why I'm sure Shinran went to Honen Shonin and explained. See? Teacher, I know, including you, these teachers, both patriarchs are emphasizing the importance of Contemplation Sutra. But now I realize that I believe this Rajya Sutra should be the center of the tradition. See? So I want to dedicate my entire life to the study of this largest. So please allow me to change my name from Shaku, see, Shaku, the name you gave. See, please allow me to change this name to, see, the name Shinran, the name he created by himself. And I'm sure Honen said, oh, Shinran, you came to that conclusion. That's great. So I allow you to change your name. So study the largest sutra and show people the greatness of this sutra. Do it. I'm sure Honen should told Shinran to do it. See? So that his name, Shinran, name itself tells us that he made this big decision to devote his entire life to the study of largest sutra. Okay? So that his view, Shinran's view was, totally different from other Pure Land masters. But I'm sure Honen was very happy Shinran came to that. And Shinran believed that this teaching of the largest sutra was the real teaching Honen Shonin wanted to enhance. See, that was his conviction. So please look at the page 2, D, okay, section D. So I explained what I summarized what I've been telling you now, okay? So D, okay, this is a post-Buddhism, crosswise transcendence, pure and other power. Immediate crosswise transcendence. This is Shin Buddhism, okay? A teaching that is based on the larger sutra, and I explained, okay, having gone through the first 3 types of Buddhism, Shinran realized that the doctrinal basis of his teacher Honen's teaching was the larger sutra, not the contemplation sutra. Shinran said that fourth Buddhism, that was based on the larger sutra, was Shinshu. In Shinran's mind, Shinshu means true Buddhism. The other 3 types of Buddhism are the provisional, Shinran called provisional Buddhism. These 3 types of Buddhism are provisional. Shinran is, by saying provisional, Shinran is saying these are very important preparatory stages. See? Everybody, because everybody uses human wisdom. By using human wisdom and understand Buddhism, we come up with these 3 types of Buddhism. Okay? But here, see, basis changes. See? Our basis is not the human wisdom, not the dualistic wisdom. It's a non-dualistic wisdom. See, this is a term, true Buddhism. And so Shinran tells us he going through this stage, the first 3 stages are very important. Okay? Important preparatory stages, like grammar school, junior high school, college, then the graduate school or something like that. Then we can study, graduate studies are very important and advanced. See? But saying that does not mean these 3 stages are meaningless. See? Because these are important preparatory stages. It is only going through these 3 stages that we can appreciate these stages. See? You cannot skip these things, or you cannot say, oh, this is important, so we should go there. No, we cannot do that. See? All of us are somewhere, when we start to study Buddhism, we are somewhere in these earlier stages. It's very difficult to recognize which stage we are in. But Shinran says, see, I went through these stages, and now, see, I follow this tradition, and took a long time to come to here. That's what Shinran said. Shinjin is not easy, because we are so much loving our own thinking, our wisdom. We cannot objectively see the limitation of our human wisdom, because we are in the midst of it. See, in the midst of it, we cannot see objectively from outside. See? But seeing from the perspective of the Buddha, from the eye of the Buddha, we are attached to such a petty wisdom, see? Human wisdom. But we cannot know it until we are challenged by Nembutsu. Nembutsu means the Buddha's wisdom. Okay? Unless we are challenged by the teachers and the Nembutsu, we don't recognize the mistake we are making. See? Shinran, when Shinran was on Mount Tie, he never thought he was in the wrong path. See? He believed the Buddhism on Mount Tie was the right path. See? 20 years he believed that. But later, see, in retrospect, he realized, oh, my life in Mount Tie was there's a provisional Buddhism. Okay? Same way, if we really keep studying Buddhism, then we come to the point where we realize, oh, I was in such a kind of immature stage, and I thought that the Buddhism was true Buddhism, but no, it was a very shallow Buddhism I was understanding or creating. See? So it's possible that something like that happened to us. See? It happened to Shinran. That's the whole schema of his teaching. The teaching Shinran is teaching us, presenting us these four types of Buddhism. It's a form of self-criticism. Okay? Shinran is not criticizing other people by talking about these four stages. Okay? Because these are the stages Shinran himself went through. Okay? He's a kind of, this schema is a kind of his confession. Okay? Confession. I made this mistake, but I recognize this mistake. And I believe all people are going to making the same mistake. See? I want you to recognize mistake. That's why Shinran is talking about these four stages. See? As I said earlier, Buddhism is nothing but self-examination. See? Buddhism, these kind of things are not there for us to criticize other people. Some people say, oh, that guy is there, he's in this stage, oh, she's in this stage, and use this pattern to criticize other people. Shinran is now, of course, she could be criticizing other people, but self is included in this criticism. Okay? If we are not being criticized in learning this, it's a no use studying this. See, Buddhism is a teaching for self-criticism, self-examination. See? Buddhism is not there to propagate to other people. Okay? Buddhism is strictly for ourselves alone, okay? For self-examination. That's how Shinran studied Buddhism, and that's what he wants us to do. Okay? And, actually, in Buddhism, there's no propagation or missionary work. Okay? Each person has deep self-understanding. If we have deep self-understanding, see, our awakening is contagious. So without our knowing, our deep self-reflection, self-understanding could be transmitted from one person to another. That's how Buddhism has been transmitted. See? It's not a missionary work. Okay? It's a self-examination that's the core of Buddhism. Okay? Like this too, without Shinran's own deep self-reflection, see? Buddhism, Shin Buddhism never started. So from one person to another. See? It's not the organizational doctrine Shinran is talking about. See? So each one of us, see, learning from Shinran is learning from ourselves. See? That's what I emphasize. Okay? But anyway, now here I emphasize the importance of the larger sutra, and Shinran was very unique in this, talking about the importance of this sutra, larger sutra. Okay, and here, middle of page 2, I have this passage, okay, one passage from the larger sutra, and I preface that the passage with this expression, middle of page 2, okay, the most important textual basis of Shinran. This passage is called the fulfillment of the 3 vows in the larger sutra. Okay. So I said the larger sutra was the most important text for Shinran. And within the larger sutra, this following passage is the 8 lines, 8 or 9 lines here, okay? Here, following 9 lines. This is called the fulfillment of the three vows. This passage is the textual base. All Shinran's ideas are based upon these 9 lines. See? As I said, Shinran considered the larger sutra the most important text. And Shinran considered this 9-line passage the most important section of the larger sutra. And his teaching, all his teachings are based upon these 9 lines. Okay? So if you are Jodo students in Japanese Shin University, you major in Jodo Shinshu, 4-year college, then first passage you are asked to memorize these two 9 lines. Because Jodo Shinshu, all his Shinran's ideas are found here. And I believe all Shinran's writings are commentary on these 9 lines. See? So you don't have to know so many things in Jodo Shinshu. We have many texts, But if you fully understand these 9 lines alone, that's good enough. Shinran does not say anything else. See? See? And in other words, here we talk about this is the same kind of pattern here. Okay? See? This is the Honen Shonin. Shinran Shonin met Honen Shonin and understood the Honen Shonin. But this Honen Shonin is a Jodo Shu Honen Shonin. But this is the Jodo Shinshu Honen Shonin. Okay? So this is the teaching. Person talking about the larger sutra. This is the teacher talking about contemplation sutra. Same ideas, Anabuddha, Pure-land, and everything. See? But the difference is that Shinran understood the Honen on the basis of this sutra. And this passage, 9-line passage. See? So something happened here. See? Something happened here. See? Shinran was going this way and totally disappointed. And this teacher said, Shinran, you don't have to worry. Amida-san is there. Amida-san gave me everything. So chant Namandan, chant it. So Shinran listened to Honen Shonin chanting, and he chanted. See? And here, although I have all these minuses here, see? I cannot attain person, Pure-land here, anything positive in this life. But after death, I start to have such a wonderful life here. See? So Bodhisattva become Bodhisattva here, and I move to this perfect Buddhahood. See, after life, after death. See, here this is the Jodo Shinshu based upon contemplation sutra. But he read the larger sutra, and Shinran found this passage here, so 9 line. This 9 line explains everything. Birth in Pure Land, total liberation. See. This life, see, in this life, see, everything is fulfilled. You don't have to be born after death, and true life begins here. And it is after death that you become Buddha, or something like that. See? And here, you have such a meaningful life. And when you die, physically die, everything is perfect. Nothing is necessary to be realized. Full stop. Our life is a full stop. Completion. See? Nothing needs to be done, or nothing needs to be sought after you die. Our death moment, physical death moment, is a completion point. Shinran called this Parinirvana, perfect ending. See? That is the same teaching Shakyamuni Buddha taught us. See? Longing for a life after death is a deluded way of living. See? You need another life because you are unhappy with this present life. See? Isn't that the way? You feel something unhappy about this life. You need something better than this life. So you look for another life. But Shakyamuni and Shinran tell us, it is a wrong way of living, deluded way of living. This is the only life we have. See, how is it to be born as human? If we do not attain Buddhahood in this life, transcend this deludedness in this life, where else can we do it? See, this is the only place where we can fulfill our deepest aspiration. See, this is Buddhism. See? Looking for another life, I want to become, but in this life I cannot become fulfill my deepest desire. I must die and be born in Pure Land. And true Buddhism begins after we die. What kind of teaching is it? Yes. Shakyamuni never talked about, Shinran never talked about. Of course, Shinran experiences certain type of teaching, but this is a teaching based on contemplation. Contemplation Sutra talks about importance of chanting practice, and chanting practice makes us attain perfect pure after we die. Okay? This is Jodoshu teaching. And Shinran was so unhappy about, and he had deep doubt about this teaching. That's why he discovered the largest, and his name changed. Okay? First name Shaku was based upon this contemplation tradition. These four teachers, these four teachers emphasize the importance of this contemplation. But Shinran went back to the Indian sources. These are the first second, and this Dona, the first Chinese patriarch. But these second and third patriarchs, this text, largely Sutra. Many scholars say this contemplation sutra was composed in China. This strong Chinese elements. These Chinese elements here. Namely, the interpretation of Amida Buddha as a savior. Contemplation sutra was not composed in India. It was probably composed in China. But this is composed in India. Larger sutra. So the Shinran went back to kind of skipped over Chinese Buddhism. These four patriarchs, strong these two Chinese, two Japanese. The contemplations. Shinran skipped and went to the Indian sources. Second, that's Shinran. Some people say, the good thing he picked up his name is Shinran. Now, if he had picked up the earlier name, his name must be Tendong. Yeah, Shinran sounds better than Tendong. But Tendong sounds more delicious. I'm joking, okay. So anyway, I want you to know, okay, there are two traditions in the South, and this same vocabulary, okay, kind of confusing. But we understand how much Shinran Shonin kind of struggled. Okay? Most of the people in his time were chanting Bhikkhu in this way, dreaming about happy life after death, desiring to be born Pure Land after death, and chanting Namadav, Namadav. But Shinran doubted that. What are these people doing? They're dreaming about happy life after death. They are not really appreciating this life. See, isn't Buddhism designed for the deep appreciation of here and now? See, deep joy and gratitude here and now. So Shinran Shonin had deep doubt about the traditional Pure Land teachings. Okay. But anyway, he found these 9 lines. Okay. As I said, if you're a Jodo Shinshu student, see, this is everything. Okay. If you memorize this, and 4 years you concentrate on these 9 lines. See, so Jodo Shinshu, I don't know if you heard this before, but see, this is the most important part of Shinran Shonin. See, and you don't have to study many other things. See, focus your 100% attention in the fulfillment of 3 vows. 3 vows. Okay. And I earlier, at the outset of my this session, this morning, I talked about the same thing. The importance of Shinran is that this is the Kyo, Yo, and this is Shin. This is Nembutsu. See, Honen Shonin's voice is Nembutsu. He heard it. See, he heard, this is Shinji. Shinji, hearing is Shinji. Then something deep here is shaken. Something, this come. You are going that way. You are using human wisdom. See, good and evil, right and wrong, pure and impure, and creating, see, this type of Buddhism. And you are going this way. See, but Honen, or this teacher, says, Nembutsu tells us, see, take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. Forget about human wisdom. See, Buddha's wisdom, come this way. See, Nembutsu is this command, Shinran says, imperative sentence. See, Nembutsu is something you hear. You must hear. See, if you chant it, that's okay. But chanting is a way of hearing it. If you are not hearing and trying to understand it, totally meaningless. Saying it for the sake of saying it is meaningless. It's not the sound that is important. It is not the action of saying it that is important. It's not the sound or action that is. It is a meaning contained in Namu Amida. What is the meaning? Meaning is take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. That is the meaning. See? Namu means Namu, do Namu. Take refuge, imperative sentence. Command. It's a command. Namu. Come to Buddha's wisdom. That's what it means. See, our teacher is telling us, see, Naman Taosu. That is imperative sentence. See, Shinran heard this meaning, name, Naman Taosu. Come to Buddha's wisdom. See, loosen your grip on your own wisdom, human wisdom, and take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. See, that's what you must hear and understand. The hearing and understanding is called the Shinji. If you understand it, you certainly move this way. See, this is the Kyobyo Shin Sho. You participate in this. See, dynamic flow of life. See, this is limitless life. Limitless life. See, limitless life means Buddha's wisdom. See, limitless wisdom, limitless life. It's a dynamic life. See, you become part of this. See, Amida Buddhahood is nothing but this wisdom, compassion here. See, wisdom, particularly wisdom is important. Shinran has exclusive emphasis on the wisdom. When Shinran talks about Nembutsu, Nembutsu means wisdom. See? Amida Buddha means wisdom. Light means wisdom. Limitless light means Buddha's wisdom. That liberates us. Okay? So it is something you hear and understand. See, Raja Sutra does not say you should say Naman Daoji. Contemplation Sutra say. So that you be born in there, you must chant it. That's contemplation. But here, see, Raja Sutra says, your teachers, Buddhas are saying Naman Daoji. Okay? Buddhas are telling you to take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. Buddhas are saying Naman Daoji. Okay? So you hear it and understand what Buddha's wisdom is all about. That is liberation. That is a birth in the Pure Land. Pure Land is, Shinran says, Pure Land is a world of Buddha's wisdom. He defines using one concept, Pure Land. Shinran does not define Pure Land as a happy place or something like that. Shinran defines Pure Land with one concept. He says, this Pure Land, true Buddha land means the land of limitless light. Limitless light. That light, and Shinran says, the light is wisdom. Okay? World of Buddha's wisdom. you are born in the world of wisdom. Nothing to do with the world after death, okay? See? It's a deluded human wisdom that think about the world after death. See? Oh, this world is terrible. See? Using this dualistic wisdom, you always hate something you have, negative. Oh, I'm not so good. I want to be a better person in the future. See? Dream about future attainment. See? Well, this world is a defiled world. I don't like it. I deserve a better place, a pure place. It's a human wisdom. Okay? That divides things into two and hate defilement and negative things and love things in the future. Beautiful place, wonderful place. But see, this is a deluded way of thinking about it. But this is the wisdom we use. And in understanding even Shinran Shonin's teaching, we use this human wisdom, okay? But Shinran's teaching is a teaching that they talk about inconceivable wisdom. The Buddha is a limitless life. See? Limited. Human wisdom is a limited life, limited wisdom. Okay? Encountering limited wisdom, Buddha's wisdom, all wisdom is challenging. See? Then we are born into this land of limitless life. That's how Shinran defined it. Shinran does not define Pure Land, like other people. Say, oh, happy place you have there, you meet with wonderful people there, oh, you have wonderful climate. It's a kind of symbolic way of talking of it. You cannot take it literally. Okay? Using all kinds of wonderful treasures and gold and silver, 7 types of jewels. See? These are the kind of symbolic way of talking about the wonderful spiritual reality. It's not the physical reality, sutras explain. They're using physical things, jewels and gold and silver, see? Using something brilliant, talking about spiritual brilliance, okay? See? World of light, world of wisdom is. People take it literally. Okay? Oh, if I go, oh, I don't like this cold climate or Pure Land, it's like a warm place like Hawaii. See? But people who live in a tropical climate, oh, I don't like this hot weather. See? I want to be born in a place like Berkeley, or San Diego. Wow, that's my kind of place. You see? This is just human aspiration and seeking something physical. See? That's not what Pure Land means, okay? Sutra description, all symbolic, okay? Using material, physical things to explain the wonderfulness of spiritual reality. See? Actually, spiritual wonderfulness is nothing but the talking about the wonderfulness of the wisdom, okay? World of light, okay? Brilliance. Light is a symbol for wisdom. Okay? Buddhism is a teaching about wisdom. Okay? So anyway, I'm giving you this basic teaching of Shinran Shonin. And so as I said, this Honen Shonin, this is the true Honen Shonin, Shinran, met. See? Honen Shonin is Kyo. Kyo means Namandavas. Okay? Fulfillment. This is called the fulfillment 17th birth. Then Shinji fulfillment 18th birth. Fulfillment of 11th birth. Okay? So this passage, nine-line passage is called talking about fulfillment of 3 births. 17th birth, 11th birth, 18th birth, 11th birth. And this is Gyo, Shin, Sho. And Kyo means teaching. So teaching. Shinran says teaching is a larger sutra. See? So larger sutra, this is a sutra that has a teaching about these 3 things. See? So the Kyo, Gyo, Shin, Sho. See? This is how Shinran Shonin explained it. And Shinran Shonin experienced this Kyo, Gyo, Shin, Sho. See? That these 9 lines is called fulfill. These fulfilled. Honen Shonin is existing in front of Shinran Shonin. Honen Shonin is the Buddha. See? Namandabutsu is Nembutsu is existing in front of him as Honensho. Honensho means more than Namandabutsu. That's the fulfillment of the 70th vow. 70th vow is a realization vow about the realization of the Namandabutsu. Honensho is Namandabutsu. His words are Namandabutsu. See? Realize. Fulfilled means realize. See? Shinra met this person. See? Nembutsu historically existed. And he actually heard it. See? So Honen heard his voice, understood the meaning of the teacher's word. That's Shinjin. See? Hearing and understanding. That's fulfillment where it is. Then his life, see, was born into a new world of limitless life, Buddha's wisdom, non-dualistic. It's the world where you can appreciate not only pluses, but also minuses. Everything in Shinran's life, he started to find meaning. See? Before this, he hated blind passion. Blind passions are meaningless. I should eliminate. I should go to a place where no blind passion exists. See? These people, 3 types of people, looking for the world without blind passion. Here, you don't have to be afraid of blind passion. Buddha's wisdom gives you new meanings in blind passion. See, your blind passions could become your teachers. You see, you can learn so much from your ignorance, anger, greed. See, you're humbled by your own blind passion. See, blind passions are not only negative, they could be great teachers. They could humble you. See, humility is something positive, virtue. See, so Buddha's wisdom could transform blind passion into virtues. Then you don't have to run away from blind passion. See? You come to learn from blind passion. And for the same reason, you don't have to hate your fault or mistakes you made in your life or shortcomings you have. See? You can learn something. What we are now, okay? See? All the past mistakes and the failures, you see? Accidents or disasters, we hated them. We wanted to eliminate them. See? Like we want to go to the place where we don't have any defects and shortcomings or all kinds of negative experience. But now, see, by receiving Buddha's wisdom, we can discover new positive meaning in all the negative things in our lives. We don't have to run away from them. See? We just accept them for what they are, and we can learn from them. See? After all, don't you think that what you are the result of whatever you experience, good and negative, positive and negative? No denying the important meaning of the negative things you experience. Don't you think so? You don't have to wipe away those things. Wisdom, we have new appreciation of things. See? That's called birth in the world of Buddha's wisdom. That's Pure Land. What is great? Is there anything great, any greater Pure Land than that? See? If you think about any greater Pure Land than that, it's a product of your human thinking. Oh, I want to go to that wonderful clime. Oh, that's where I can meet my old friends. Oh, that's the place I have all that. No sickness, no accident. Everybody's fine. It's just imagination. See, just dream. Buddhism doesn't talk about that kind of product of our imagination. Humanly conceived wishful idea. Don't belong to this. Okay? Buddhism is realistic. Jodo Shinshu is very realistic. We just can come to accept whatever we are, whatever we have experienced. See? Then you don't have to run away. They're like 3 insects. See? They must get out of the bamboo tree. See? World of suffering, samsara, blind passion. They all hate. They all hate blind passions. They are intimidated by them. So they try to run away from blind passion. But Shinra says, no, you don't have to become a religious person and run away from this reality, world of suffering, world of blind passion. You are nothing but blind passion. Your life is nothing but suffering. Accept them, and see, and with Buddha's wisdom, you have a new way of appreciating those things. You don't live this reality, present reality is all you have, and don't use human wisdom and try to run away from it. Okay? But Buddha's wisdom makes you realize this world that seems so unsatisfactory to human wisdom, but see, Buddha's wisdom makes you realize this world is, after all, the best way of existing. See? This is a world of suffering. It's the best place where you can listen to the Dharma. See? It is because we suffer, because we have blind passion, we appreciate the Dharma. You see, we can listen to the Dharma, find a deep meaning in whatever we experience. Okay? So I think you don't have to run away from this reality of samsara or blind passion. That's why fourth insect, see, fourth insect transcends samsara in the midst of samsara. See, no need of running away from it. See, that's what the Jodo Shinshu is all about. So that's why Shinran said, I'm a foolish, ordinary person. In Jodo Shinshu, you don't have to become a religious person. Okay? The idea of secular and religious, that's a dualistic idea. Okay? Oh, being secular is kind of vulgar, lower, and being religious, being spiritual, being holy is wonderful. So we should put an end to our being secular and become spiritual person. See? That idea exists in verse 3. See? If you use dualistic idea, secular and religious, see? Non-spiritual, spiritual, see? This mundane and supra-mundane, see? Vulgar and holy. It's a humanly conceived dualistic ideas. See? Usually we think that is a religion, but Jodo Shinshu says that's human wisdom. Being ordinary, nothing wrong with ordinary. See? Being ordinary, she says, I'm not a Buddhist, I'm not a religious person at all. I'm foolish, ordinary person. See? Being ordinary, nothing wrong being ordinary. See? Having blind passion, but important thing is being able to learn from blind passion, appreciate, accept those things. See? You don't have to be something else. You are not. See? So Jodo Shinshu teaching is very different from what. That's why Jodo Shinshu ministers get married and eat meat and drink sake. Jodo Shinshu ministers famous for heavy drinking. Not only Jodo Shinshu ministers, Zen people, Zen ministers do too. But see, do you think that Shinran was considered a religious person in his time? Think about it. He was married, he had several children. Some scholars say Shinran married at least twice. See? He was married in Kyoto and married in Ichigo, and he had several children. See? He didn't keep any precept. He ate meat. He drank sake. Do you think he was considered a religious person? No. No, he was considered regular. Worse, he was a convict. He was exiled. See? Very few people respected him, particularly in Kyoto. When he went back to Kyoto at the age of 60, I don't think Shinran was looked up or looked down by people. See? He was, in a sense, in jail. He was exiled. He came back to aristocratic place, okay, capital of Japan, and used to be capital of Japan. And see, very few people. His name is not recorded in official history, historical record. Only sectarian church records have his name, but no official historical record has his name. Very unknown. And he wasn't considered religious or spiritual. He never claimed. After he was exiled, he said, I'm not a monk. He said famously, he said, I'm neither a monk nor lay. See? He said, I'm not the monk. See? And I'm not a lay. He is saying, I'm not a Buddhist. That's what he's saying. See? Nobody considers him as a Buddhist. Being married, eating meat. See? Nowadays, maybe people consider those ministers married and eating meat and doing ministers or Buddhists. But in Shinran's time, he was totally disqualified to be called a minister. And he knew it. So he didn't claim to be a minister. And he didn't have to use this human wisdom to call himself a religious or spiritual. Because he was in the dimension where he transcended. Being ordinary, nothing wrong with being ordinary. See? But the important thing is whether you have Buddha's wisdom or human wisdom. See? That was the only difference that was important for Shinran. So, anyway, actually, we already had spent 1 hour. So anyway, we have to read this passage, okay, because this is such an important passage. So please remember, okay, this we haven't read this 9-line passage, but this explains this 17th powerful feeling. The Namandavati is realize that Honen Shonin, he met Namandavati, living Namandavati, and he heard this Namandavati. See, actually heard it, and he was born into the world of Namandavati, limitless wisdom, world of limitless. See, Shinran got Shinji experience. That's birthing human. See, and his life started here. See, such a meaning life, being totally liberated from regular ideas about being religious and non-religious. See, here, see, this is our regular concept of religion. Oh, good and evil, good and evil. See, pure and impure, blind passion and nirvana. See, oh, we hate this. Oh, we practice. Go there. Go. Practice means gyo. See, gyo. This is gyo. Practice. Another meaning is going. See, this iku. Iku and practice. Gyo are same thing. It's you must go. You must go. You must go. You must go. See, go to new self. Go to new world. See, here. You don't have to go anywhere. See? Buddha's wisdom is coming. See? Shinran. That's what fourth picture you remember. See? Everything is coming here. And transform the meaning of this. See? Because this basis is transformed. This is the basis, human wisdom. See? This is challenge. And this basis is replaced by this Buddha's wisdom. See? Buddha's non-dualistic wisdom. Wisdom that appreciates both pluses and minuses. Find meaning not only in pluses, but also in minuses. Then why do we have to run away from minuses? See? We have discovered new meanings. See? That's why. See? Transcend samsara in the midst of samsara. See? Transcend blind passions in the midst of them. This is your position. And you don't have to change your lifestyles. See? You don't have to purify yourself. You don't have to eliminate blind passion. You don't have to change yourself. See? But your thinking is challenged. And your thinking, see, dualistic thinking is replaced by Buddha's wisdom. Buddha's wisdom can make you deep appreciation of whatever happens in life. Not only the positive thing, but the negative things. Okay? So, otherwise, we hate aging, sickness, and death. Look for something positive, only positive, life, health, and youth. See? Using human wisdom, death is totally meaningless. Sickness is totally meaningless. Poverty is totally meaningless. But see, Buddha's wisdom tells us you have poverty or sickness. See, that's what you are. See, learn from them. See? Just to deplore them, just to try to run away from them, just try to forget them. That's part of you. Learn from them. See? Many Jodo people say, I have this sickness, but after I got this sickness, I have deep appreciation of Buddhism, and I become a better listener because thanks to my sickness. See? That's what it means. Negative things turn into something positive. See? Then why do we have to run away from the negative things? See? You can transcend sickness in the midst of sickness. You can transcend the poverty in the midst of it. If you have wisdom, okay, Buddha's wisdom, only Buddha's wisdom can realize this spiritual transformation. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to have any practices. Practices are there to change yourself for reality, this reality. But if you have to accept whatever you are and your reality in which you exist, why do you have to take, engage in the practices that designed to change things? Okay? That's why Nembutsu is not a practice, Nembutsu is nothing but the Buddha's wisdom, okay? Challenging us, whether we hear it and whether we can accept it, that is the only crucial issue. Okay? Okay? So the Jodo Shinshu have exclusive emphasis on the importance of wisdom. Amida is not a person, Amida is a symbol for wisdom, Buddha's limitless light. Amitabha literally means limitless light. Okay? Limitless light. Shinna says, Amida sounds like a person, but no. It is a symbol for the wisdom, Buddha's wisdom. It is the Buddha's wisdom that liberates us. It's not a person. Okay? If you think person liberates us, third teaching. But the wisdom that is symbolized by Amida, wisdom liberates us. That's fourth teaching. See? That's tremendous difference, meaning of it. If you understand Amida Buddha as a person, Kim Chinan calls Amida provisional Buddha, not the true Buddha, provisional. But if you understand the meaning of Amida as wisdom, non-dualistic wisdom, and it will liberate me, then that is the true Buddha, Shinran says. That's Namandabutsu. See? Namandabutsu is a calling voice saying, come to Buddha's wisdom. Now Amidabutsu, come to Buddha's wisdom. See? Recognize the mistake of being attached to human wisdom. Appreciate, hear Buddha's wisdom. That's what the Namandabutsu means. So if you hear this Namandabutsu alone, that's good enough. That's good enough. See? That's what the Shinran teaches. So the third and fourth teaching sounds almost, oh, you liberate by Amida Buddha. Oh, you are born impure. See, same teaching, but the meaning is totally different. See? It's not the actual person, it's not the actual place that is important. See? It is the wisdom symbolized by, or the world of Buddha's wisdom symbolized by pure. That liberates us. Okay? That's the difference between the teaching of the Contemplation Sutra and the larger sutra. See? That's then Shinran Shonin already experienced this. You don't have to die to appreciate Amida or Pure Land. See? But the Jodo Shinshu, this third tradition, you will be saved by Amida. You will be born in pure life. Will be. no guarantee. See? It's like a Christian faith. You will be saved by God and go to heaven. See? Will be no guarantee. But he already actually experienced, and he had a joy about it. That's why he's talking about something he had already experienced. That's the difference. Tremendous difference. Okay? But other teachers said, if you have faith in Amida, faith in the Namandamsu, and chanting, you will be saved. You will be born in bed after that. See? Tremendous difference. See? It's called fulfillment. This name is fulfilled, Shinjin is fulfilled, this realization, attainment is fulfilled. It's called fulfillment of three vows. See, Shinran's teaching is based upon fulfilled vows. Honen Shonin says, see, based upon 18th vow, you will be, if you say Namandamsu, you will be born. See, no guarantee, different. Pure one exists after death. It's a matter of faith, like Christianity. Tremendous difference. See? Shinran's teaching is so powerful because he's already experiencing this. See? As in Pure One, hearing Namandamsu, see? Tremendous gratitude and joy. All the experience, that's why he wants to share it with other people. That's why he wrote Pure Shisho. Pure, pure, Shisho. He wants to share this pure, pure, Shisho with people. That's the title of his book. See? Not only talking about this happiness, will be happiness. No. See? The happiness Shinran is actually experiencing. Okay? That's a tremendous thing. Okay, let's have a break. Okay, 10 minutes break. Okay. Okay.